What is happening, Pump Talk Nation? Get ready because the news cycle is absolutely exploding, and we've got the inside scoop on all the biggest stories you need to know. The game is changing by the minute, and if you miss this, you're missing out. We're diving headfirst into the most intense moments, the most shocking revelations, and the strategies that are defining the current landscape. We're kicking things off with a look inside the Big Brother house, where a recent nomination ceremony has sent shockwaves, leaving house guests rattled and personal grievances laid bare. Then, we're heading back into the Big Brother house as a fiery accusation of narcissism ignites a major conflict, creating deep rifts and forcing players to reevaluate their alliances and strategies on the fly. This one's got everyone talking, and the tension is through the roof. We're also breaking down who took the reins as the new head of household and who ended up on the chopping block after a critical competition. Alliances are shifting, and the pressure is on as the game gets more intense than ever before. And finally, we're hearing directly from the head of household about a housemate's emotional reactions and behavior, revealing a fascinating dynamic that could change everything. You do not want to miss this. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. A week of high stakes, nominations ignite house drama. The tension inside the Big Brother 27 house has reached an all-time high following a nail-biting nomination ceremony that has left the remaining contestants reeling. The head of household, in a move that has sent shockwaves through the meticulously constructed alliances, revealed 3 nominees, each decision accompanied by pointed remarks and veiled threats. This season has been defined by its sheer unpredictability, and this latest development is no exception, escalating the personal animosities and strategic maneuvering to a fever pitch. The atmosphere in the room was palpable as the HOH prepared to announce their choices. The weight of the moment was undeniable, with every houseguest acutely aware that their game could be on the line. When the names Morgan, Vince, and Mickey were finally called, a collective gasp seemed to ripple through the remaining players. The HOH didn't hold back, delivering a stark warning that underscored the cutthroat nature of the game. If you take my kindness for weakness, I will put you on this block, and I will send you home. This declaration made it clear that niceties would be abandoned in favor of ruthless strategy. While all 3 nominees now face the daunting prospect of eviction, the HOH explicitly identified Morgan as the primary target. The rationale behind this decision was rooted in a perceived pattern of self-serving actions, with the HOH expressing a belief that Morgan's departure would pave the way for more cohesive teamwork and genuine collaboration among the remaining houseguests. This strategic move aims to dismantle a perceived individualistic playstyle and foster a more unified front, though it comes at the cost of significant interpersonal drama. The immediate aftermath of the ceremony saw a flurry of reactions, with one houseguest candidly admitting to a worst-case scenario nightmare week, confirming their deepest anxieties had materialized. The intricate web of alliances is now under immense strain, with the upcoming veto competition representing a critical juncture. The outcome of this competition could very well determine whether Morgan can evade her status as the week's target, and whether Vince or Mickey can secure their safety, potentially reshaping the entire power dynamic within the Big Brother 27 house. The house remains in a state of heightened alert, bracing for the emotional fallout and strategic plays that are sure to follow this pivotal nomination ceremony. Audience impact. The intense nominations have sparked widespread debate online, with fans dissecting the HOH's motivations and predicting the ripple effects on future alliances and evictions. Many are siding with the HOH's strategy to target perceived individual players, while others empathize with the nominees' difficult positions. Hold on tight, because the drama is far from over as new accusations are already starting to fly. Next, we're diving into a fiery confrontation sparked by a single, explosive word that's dividing the house. Narcissist accusation ignites house firestorm. The Big Brother 27 live feeds from September 2, 2025, captured a night thick with tension, as a post-veto ceremony confrontation erupted, fueled by a pointed accusation that has sent reverberations throughout the house. The flashpoint occurred when Keanu reacted with palpable intensity to being labeled a narcissist, a comment that quickly escalated from a private exchange to a house-wide talking point, fundamentally altering perceptions and strategic considerations for all involved. Keanu vehemently defended his character and gameplay, asserting that he had been back against the wall since week 2 and that his resilience in the face of adversity should speak for itself. During a conversation with Vince, he argued that those questioning his demeanor or resorting to labels were deliberately overlooking the significant effort and strategic thinking he had invested in the game. Vince attempted to offer reassurance, telling Keanu, "You know who you are." But the underlying frustration and sense of injustice persisted for Keanu, who felt his actions were being consistently misinterpreted. The controversial remark opened a Pandora's box of discussions among the houseguests, touching upon the delicate balance of loyalty, the potential impact on jury votes, and whether Keanu's perceived personality traits were a net positive or negative for their individual games. While some houseguests tried to distance themselves from the brewing conflict, others saw it as a strategic opportunity to realign alliances and gain leverage. By the close of the night, the narcissist label had become a central theme, not only driving emotional responses, but also significantly influencing the strategic landscape of the game. Keanu elaborated on the origins of the accusation, recounting how certain players were actively constructing a narrative around him within the Big Brother house. He expressed disbelief to Vince, stating, "There's no way she can look anyone in the face and tell me I don't deserve it," indicating a profound disagreement with how his contributions and character were being framed. He felt his communication style, particularly his interactions with female houseguests, was being unfairly conflated with arrogance, a misrepresentation he found deeply frustrating. Rachel and Ashley were identified by Keanu as being connected to this accusation, as he believed they had been discussing his attitude in negative terms. Vince's attempts to de-escalate the situation, including reminding Keanu of his personal background and inherent qualities, did little to quell the rising tension. Keanu continued to replay the incident, viewing it as a deliberate and unjust attack on his character and gameplay. Meanwhile, in a separate conversation, Will and Rachel discussed the fallout from the ceremony. Rachel was keen to clarify her position, stating, "I never suggested your name ever," aiming to distance herself from any rumors suggesting she had influenced Ashley or Ava being positioned as targets. These intertwined conversations underscored the rapid manner in which a single accusation could become a catalyst for broader discussions about trust, loyalty, and the very fabric of alliances within the house. The narcissist moment quickly permeated strategic discussions, influencing how players evaluated Keanu's viability and potential as an endgame threat. Some speculated that his perceived negative reputation might make him an easier target for eviction, while others considered whether his persistence and strong gameplay might still garner respect from the jury. Vince's observation, "Down and out early in the game, winning when you need to, making it far, that alone is a resume builder," highlighted that even amidst controversy, Keanu's performance was not going unnoticed. Elsewhere, houseguests like Lauren sought time to recalibrate, while Ashley felt caught between conflicting alliances. Ava Pearl also reflected on her choices, attempting to mend trust after her name was mentioned as a potential replacement nominee. The live feeds vividly illustrated how swiftly one label could ignite a cascade of strategic reevaluations, transforming a tense exchange into a night-long focus that impacted campaigning, trust, and the perception of the path to the finale. The narcissist remark marked a significant turning point, influencing how houseguests assessed both personality and strategic prowess as the competition progressed. Audience impact. The narcissist label has become a major talking point among viewers, with many debating whether it's a fair assessment or a strategic smear campaign. Keanu's defense has garnered support from some fans who see him as a resilient player, while others agree with the critics. But the drama doesn't stop there, as a new head of household has been crowned, and the nominations are already shaking things up. Next, we're breaking down exactly who won HOH and who is now on the chopping block. HOH crowned, nominations shake up Big Brother Week 8. following the eviction of Catherine Woodman by a decisive 7-1 vote, a new head of household HOH has emerged in the Big Brother 27 house, signaling a significant shift in power dynamics and prompting a reformation of fractured alliances. The house guests found themselves facing a novel challenge as the familiar picture wall transformed into a series of short video clips showcasing their activities around the house, featuring moments like Ava Pearl's stumble and Keanu Soto's memorable performance in a butler punishment costume. These videos served a dual purpose: a form of entertainment and a crucial element for the upcoming head of household competition. The house guests were summoned outside to participate in a true-or-false quiz based on these video vignettes. The competition proved to be a test of attention to detail and memory, ultimately narrowing down to a final two, Keanu and Kelly Jorgensen. This outcome was particularly advantageous for them, as they are currently allied. However, for the opposing faction within the house, this was a cause for significant concern, as they anticipated being targeted by the new HOH. Keanu emerged victorious, securing his first head of household title of the season, a critical win that immediately placed him in a position of power. Upon assuming the HOH role, Keanu engaged in individual conversations with each house guest to strategize his nominations. His primary target was immediately identified as Vince Panero, despite their initial alliance dating back to week 1. Keanu cited Vince's repeated missteps, particularly his tendency to align with the losing side of crucial votes and his perceived betrayals of their allies, as reasons for this decision. Additionally, Keanu nominated Morgan Pope, recognizing her close alliance with Vince. His strategic thinking suggested that removing Morgan would potentially encourage Vince to realign with Keanu's faction in the future. The selection of the third nominee proved to be a more complex decision for Keanu, who deliberated between Ava, Mickey Lee, and Ashley Hollis. Despite having expressed a desire to see Ashley evicted the previous week, Keanu ultimately decided against nominating her, having seemingly mended fences with Rachel Riley and assured her she would not be placed on the block. Ultimately, Mickey was chosen as the third nominee, rounding out a powerful trio facing potential eviction. Keanu's final nominations were Mickey, Morgan, and Vince, with Morgan clearly designated as his primary target for the week. Keanu addressed his nominees directly, explaining his reasoning. He told Mickey that their past conversations felt insufficient and that she hadn't engaged enough in game talk with him. Regarding Morgan, Keanu stated that he had extended numerous olive branches, all of which she had seemingly rejected. When it came time to address Vince, Keanu expressed a deep sense of disappointment, conveying, "I feel like you have consistently taken my kindness as weakness. If you take my kindness for weakness, I promise you I will put you on the block, and I will send you home." The nominees reacted with a mix of defiance and concern. Morgan lamented being on the block with her closest friend, Mickey vowed to fight for the veto, and Vince described the situation as a nightmare, emphasizing the urgent need to devise a strategy for both his and Morgan's survival. Audience impact. Fans are debating Keanu's strategic choices, particularly his decision to nominate Vince despite their alliance and his strong words to him. The dynamic between Keanu, Vince, and Morgan is a hot topic, with many predicting significant fallout. With the nominations set, the focus now shifts to the upcoming veto competition, where alliances will be tested. Next, we're diving into the emotional fallout of these decisions and a revealing conversation about housemate behavior. Emotional plea: Keanu reacts to Vince's behavior. Big Brother Season 27, Episode 25, which aired on August 31, 2025, provided a compelling look at the aftermath of the latest elimination, highlighting how housemates began strategizing and forming new alliances to solidify their positions in the game. A significant portion of the episode centered on an intense conversation between the current head of household, HOH, Keanu, and fellow housemate Vince, specifically addressing Keanu's potential nomination choices. Upon learning that he might be placed on the block for elimination, Vince became visibly emotional. Keanu attempted to temper Vince's distress by pointing out the upcoming opportunities to win the BB Blockbuster competition and the power of the veto. Despite these assurances, Vince pleaded with Keanu not to nominate him, his emotional state evident. Observing Vince's reaction, Keanu shared his perspective with the cameras, noting Vince's tendency to become emotional after making mistakes, a pattern he found increasingly difficult to navigate as HOH. The episode also revealed a pre-nomination discussion where Keanu, having recently secured the HOH position, spoke with Vince about the impending nominations. Keanu initially expressed his desire to target Morgan for eviction. However, this plan faced a potential complication. Vince, in response to Keanu's strategic thoughts, offered a conditional promise. He would not use the veto on Morgan if Keanu ensured his safety from nomination. Vince further pledged his loyalty, assuring Keanu he would never act in a way that would upset or blindside him, emphasizing his fear of being nominated. Vince also highlighted his role as a supportive figure for Keanu earlier in the game, stating he was the only one who had tried to help him. This sentiment led Vince to express feeling heartbroken at the prospect of being nominated by Keanu. Listening to Vince's earnest pleas, Keanu reiterated his affection for Vince, but confessed that his trust had limits. He admitted he wasn't entirely convinced Vince wouldn't use the veto to save Morgan if given the chance, stating, "I won't let it happen." Keanu advised Vince against begging, encouraging him instead to focus on winning challenges, a sentiment that seemed to fall on deaf ears as Vince continued his emotional appeals. Keanu countered Vince's assertion that an ally would not nominate him, disagreeing with Vince's perspective. Witnessing Vince's emotional response to the possibility of nomination did not sit well with Keanu. He confessed to the cameras his empathy for Vince's situation, but pointed out that Vince frequently messes up and then displays emotional regret, a cycle Keanu felt was not conducive to effective gameplay, especially in his role as HOH. The episode concluded with CBS set to air the next installment, episode 26, on September 3, 2025, leaving viewers anticipating the unfolding dynamics. Audience impact. Viewers are divided on Keanu's handling of Vince's emotional outbursts, with some commending Keanu's firm stance on gameplay and others criticizing him for a lack of empathy towards his ally. These emotional exchanges highlight the intense pressure within the house as the game progresses. Next, we'll wrap up the week with a quick recap of all the top stories and a look at what's coming up. That's a wrap on another action-packed news cycle. We saw nominations shake up the Big Brother house, a fiery accusation of narcissism create major drama, a new HOH crowned with strategic nominations, and an emotional confrontation between allies. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Pump Talk News for all your breaking updates, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single second, drop a comment with your thoughts on who's playing the best game, and follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you next time.